Greetings and salutations, my fellow Americans. I am Robert Vincent Brannum. I am a retired veteran. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, February is recognized as Black History Month to honor Black Americans from periods of the American history, such as slavery to today. Yet despite this annual time set aside to commemorate, reflect, and rejoice, there are those who seek to return America to the days of enslavement, Jim Crow, and other forms of denials of civil rights and equal protection. Many go as far as to mock Black History Month and to trivialize how far Black Americans have come in the face of institutionalized and systemic racism. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, great has been the contributions of Black Americans to all of American society. America can never be great without the souls of Black Americans. But from the words and actions of Donald Trump and extreme far right-wing MAGA Republicans, MAGA media, and MAGA social media, speaking words of anti-Semitism, anti-wokeism, anti-affirmative action, anti-critical racism, and anti-diversity, it is clear making America great again does not include Black and brown people. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Black and brown Americans serve in America's military, teach in America's public schools, are active across America's neighborhoods and communities. Yet Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans cry out, "Go back to where you came from." Let me say this boldly and proudly. I was born in America. I served in America's military. I taught in America's public schools. I am active in America's communities. I have been elected to office. I have faced down bullies. I have turned down bribes. I serve the people, and I believe God. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Donald Trump has shown us time and time again who and what he is. Since you have been forewarned, be on your guard, so you may not be carried away by the error of his lawlessness, racism, bigotry, support of violence, and assaulting women. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Donald Trump is corrupt and unfit for office. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, America cannot be a great nation supporting a racist, a bigot, a sexist, an anti-Semitic, an Islamophobic, a basher of gays, lesbians, transgender immigrants, a supporter of white supremacy, vengeance, vulgarity, and violence. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, the history of America's greatness come with open doors, equal rights, opportunities for all to get an education, a job, a place to live with respect and dignity. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans don't believe in the Constitution and democracy. They don't value principles of freedom, justice, and fairness. Driven by their conspiracy theories, denials of facts, and blindness to truth, Donald Trump, Nikki Haley, Tim Scott, Speaker Mike Johnson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Byron Donalds, and other MAGA congressional Republicans, MAGA media, and MAGA social media traffic in lies, deception, disinformation, and misinformation. Any perceived increased support from Black Americans is overblown, overrated, and overstated. The notion Black Americans find the lies, racism, and bigotry of Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans can be overlooked by Black Americans is appalling and intellectually dishonest. Donald Trump is not destined to save America. Donald Trump is out to destroy America's Constitution. Donald Trump is waging a war on America's principles and values of democracy, decency, freedom, and truth just to stay out of jail. Remember, Donald Trump has been accused of rape. Donald Trump has been found liable for sexually assaulting women. Donald Trump is a fraud, a con man, a liar, a racist, and a bigot. Donald Trump is incapable of presenting any thoughtful ideas or positive policies to move America forward, stronger together. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, do not be persuaded by Donald Trump's disdain for truth, lying tongue, and golden hair. Donald Trump is a narcissist, and he does not care about or respect anyone other than Donald Trump. My fellow Americans and my fellow veterans, under the leadership of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, better days are coming by and by when we believe in the Constitution and defend democracy. Inflation and unemployment will continue to fall. America will move forward in prosperity. Better days are ahead for America with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Thank you.